This is Pollo. This is 55 minutes of slow grilled flavor. This is fresh, never frozen, and always cut to order. Download the app and enjoy Pollo Perfection from El Pollo Loco.
I had a dream about you, baby. It's gonna come true, baby. They think that we're through, but baby, you'll be swell, you'll be great. Gonna have the world on the plate. Starting here, starting now, honey, everything's coming up roses. Say you'll remember me, staying in a nice dress, staring
He'd meet me at the Dreamers Bar. I'll meet you at the Dreamers Bar.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest.
Dreams come true 'cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Please don't make me dream alone. I beg you, don't make me dream alone. No, I don't wanna dream alone.
Yeah, I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams, dreaming.
Till something's fine, you keep dreaming.
Gotta keep dreaming.
Leave the worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, you've gotta make me a promise. Promise to me.
You dream.
Dream a little dream of me.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming
We are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Any dream will do. Any dream will
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
Fly me away to the bright side of the moon. Meet me on the other side. Ooh, dream weaver, I believe.
I had a dream about you, baby. It's gonna come true, baby. They think that we're through, but baby, you'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on the plate. Starting here, starting now. Honey, everything's coming up roses.
Say you'll remember me, sitting in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, baby. Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just pretend, just pretend. Streams of streams of even if it's just in your streams of wildest dreams
Gently take me, remember I'll be dreaming of my baby at the Dreamers Bar. Oh, take me, hold me, remember what you told me. You'd meet me at the Dreamers Bar. I'll meet you at the Dreamers Bar.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest.
Dreams come true, 'cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. Please don't make me dream alone. I beg you, don't make me dream alone. No, I don't wanna dream alone.
Yeah, I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams, dreaming.
Till something's fine, you keep dreaming.
Gotta keep dreaming.
Leave the worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, you've gotta make me a promise. Promise to me.
You dream.
Dream a little dream.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen?
The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Any dream will do. Any dream will
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
Fly me away to the bright side of the moon. Meet me on the other side. Ooh, dream weaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, dream weaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Dream weaver.
And the
Check, 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 check. Here's my vocal. 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 Okay.
Check, 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 check. I'm going to be singing louder than that. Is that good? What do I? Check, check.
All right. Should we give it a shot? I'm going to say a few words first.
He'll just adjust it. I'm just gonna test it. He's gonna be on the board. Yeah, you can sing. Because Sylvie wants to be struggling here.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a survey, and then we're gonna fire up the projector again.
Right.
And doing all of that is when I catch my breath. Okay.
Exactly. All right. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Building Dreams reveal. I'm so glad to have you all here this morning, enjoying some breakfast, enjoying each other's company, seeing each other's faces, and here to learn about what's happening. We always like to start out with a song. And this particular song was written specifically for this event by our front office phenom, Phoebe Light, who was asked to not only write the words for the song, but the music for the song. And it's with lots of love that we sing the song this morning. Phoebe would have loved to have joined us and been here right on the center stage. But she's home, not feeling too well. So we send our love and wishes for a speedy recovery, a refuah shlema to Phoebe. And thank you, Monica, for covering Phoebe's part at the last minute.
Phoebe, wherever you are, we're doing our best.
This is a song that she wrote again for this event, and actually this is going to become the theme song for this whole journey that we're on. It's called "We Are Building Dreams."
It's been half a century since we made this space our home. Now in the season of revival, let us honor how we've grown. And let us work together for the future that we need. Because every fruitful harvest is started with a seed. Brick by brick and stone by stone, together we'll renew our home.
This is
When
more
more than concrete boards would be.
We are building dreams. Thank you, Phoebe Light, for that song, and Daniel, Rabbi Daniel, and Dan Phillips, and Monica, and this is Nicole McKenzie. Welcome, everybody, and I'd like to introduce the president of our congregation, Diane Zipperstein. Give us 1 minute, we're going to just move things over.
Hello? Ah, ooh, thank you. Wasn't that amazing? Thank you to the band. As Cantor said, Cantor, Rabbi Brenner, Nicole McKenzie, Dan Phillips, and Monica for stepping in for Phoebe. Oh, Phoebe, we love you. And just to let you know, the lyrics to that beautiful song are on your tables. So if you'd like to take that home. Thank you, Cantor, also for the incredible slideshow and managing the technology along with Mark Castleman this morning. So welcome, everyone. It's so wonderful to see all of your friendly faces this morning. Isn't it great to be together? Yay! We're excited this morning to reveal the Building Dreams project to all of you. You'll hear from many of our project leaders to give you an update and a look at where we are today, and to ask each of you for your help in building this project together. To begin our morning is our beloved and inspiring senior rabbi, Rabbi Cohen.
Good morning, everybody. Diane, thank you. Thank you for your leadership in pulling this event together and for leading our congregation with such care and wisdom and courage over the past 3 years. Many of us love this place, both because of its beautiful setting up here above the town, next to the mountains, and also because of the memories it holds for us. Memories of our kids when they were in preschool, or standing before the ark at their bar bat mitzvah, or being enveloped by the singing of the cantor and the choir on the high holy days, or sitting right in this room with friends and enjoying Sunday Morning Live and the best damn breakfast in town. Even new arrivals often remark to me what a wonderful community we have created here. We have missed it during COVID, and it has felt so good to be back at Hanukkah, at Purim. We have been reminded that this place has healing power. Before the end of December 2022, we are going to be moving out again for a period of time. We will be relocating all of our communal gatherings, everything except the preschool, so that this sacred place can undergo a metamorphosis. It is going to be by far the most important transformation of this home of ours since it was first built almost 60 years ago, a metamorphosis. In a moment, you're going to see a short video, which will show you some stunning visuals to help you picture what CBB will look like when the project is completed. After we see the video, I will take a few minutes to describe in a few words where we are headed. This video takes about 8 minutes. Enjoy.
For the past 50 years, CBB's campus has been a wonderful home for us, nestled in the foothills, high above the bustle of the city. Now, we're about to take these half-century-old buildings and breathe new life into them.
We are transforming our CBB campus for the future, a campus that's alive all week long with food, music, art, and people of all ages playing, creating, learning, and living together. Building Dreams is our vision for a revitalized campus, and we are breaking ground in January 2023.
We are at this moment, really, beginning the next phase of this Building Dreams project that we've been working on for a long time already. But this is the moment, really, where we turn to the entire community, everybody, and say, it's time now for us to invite you to join us, not just to be the recipients of this project, but to join us and to be builders of this new transformed synagogue that Building Dreams is all about.
When the rabbi approached me about joining the team to help make this a reality, I realized like almost immediately that this was the thing that was going to bring me back to the temple and get me really involved. And I saw it as something that was going to bring the entire community back together. It's not for a few of us, it's for all of us.
I see the Building Dreams project as a foundation for the future of the Jewish community in Santa Barbara. People who are familiar with our campus know that it is 60 years old and it is in need of an overhaul. I think we have over 820 families at this stage, and the building was built or designed for 300. So looking forward, we need to account for the fact and recognize the fact that this Jewish congregation is growing, it is thriving, and we need to have a physical plant that makes that growth possible.
Picture driving onto our campus, where you'll be greeted by a completely transformed arrival experience with full accessibility, highlighting the natural beauty of our unique location. You'll find a safe parking lot with plenty of drop-off areas and a new arrival courtyard with gently sloping ramps, eliminating the need for stairs as you enter the sanctuary building.
Once this project is done, the experience of arriving at CBB is going to be beautiful. It's going to be easy to know where to go, where to park, where to drop off your kids. And it's also going to be safe.
One of the core principles has been to directly address the accessibility issues so that this campus is truly welcoming for everyone, irrespective of their physical abilities. That is a core value of the congregation, and it's a value that needs to be carried out in the way that the Building Dreams project is designed and built.
An expansion of our main building will include a new reception and security station and a consolidated leadership hub that brings clergy and staff together to better serve the needs of our community.
Our brand new state-of-the-art Center for Jewish Learning will feature 3 large experiential studios, a teaching kitchen, art studio and gallery, and a tech and media studio. One of the central gems of the center will be a beautiful and large library and multi-purpose sacred space for everyone to enjoy. Imagine a class of 4th graders standing at their cooking stations, hands deep into the challah dough they are preparing alongside a group of elders.
Next door, the art studio is filled with preschoolers and volunteer adult artists, creating together, while downstairs in the tech and media studio, teens and young professionals gather to produce a CBB podcast and rehearse for an upcoming Purim spiel.
It's going to be a destination to come to. When you have time, let's go to CBB and hang out. There's going to be music. There's going to be food coming in and out of the teaching kitchen. The sacred space is going to be filled with dance and song and learning and joy.
The new Center for Jewish Learning is much more than a teaching space. It is a place where community grows.
Imagine entirely revitalized outdoor spaces, a brand new park, outdoor classrooms and playground, a place where we embrace the beautiful outdoors and Santa Barbara weather all year round, playing, creating, singing, and learning together in the shade of our oak trees, overlooking the mountains.
To walk through the campus is going to be to experience a community of people creating together, building friendships together,
Before you zip the zipper and tighten the strap. Wow.
connecting to community, connecting to nature, and also connecting spiritually as well.
The lead donors are our foundation. They have approached this project in a way that's been so enthusiastic, and the strength in which they've gotten behind Building Dreams has given us the confidence that we can get this done. We're lucky that they're part of our community and that they know this is the right thing at the right time.
If this project is done for everybody by just a small number of people, then there won't be the sense of ownership, of connection, of pride that comes when a community comes together and builds something together. And so the first way that a person can get involved is to learn. Find out what are the guiding principles behind this project and what is happening. Number two is to start talking about it. Bring it up in conversation with your friends and ask them, what do you know about it? What do you think about it? And share your own thoughts and your own questions. The next step is to get excited about it. And that means figuring out, well, what are the parts of the project that are going to be significant for you, your family, your children, your grandchildren perhaps, and begin to picture, how will this project play in your life? And then what we're hoping is that everybody, when the time is right, write a check. Every single one of us can do is to make a contribution at the level that makes sense for us.
I think about what the legacy of my life will be, what I will have done in the world that makes a difference and that survives beyond me. So when this opportunity arose, the opportunity to stand on the shoulders of the people who had this dream in the 1960s, I thought, yes, it's truly our time. I think it's very important for the future of our Jewish community.
Our Building Dreams project is all about the future, believing in the future and investing in the future. It'll take courage, optimism, creativity, and hard work. It will take all of us.
Building Dreams together.
Hi again. Thank you to everyone who helped to give us that wonderful little glimpse into our future. Now let me tell the story. The vision for this project begins with recognizing how much we have changed since our building was built in the 1960s. Our community has grown from 200 families to over 800 families. Even more profoundly, for most of our community, religious services are no longer the primary expression of their Jewish identity. That's a fact. In the 1960s, Jews came to temple to pray, and Hebrew school was for learning the language of prayer. Nowadays, for most of us, being Jewish means being part of a vibrant, creative, loving community that is committed to raising our children together and to living and transmitting the vast Jewish tradition of ethical values, music, stories, food, art, holidays, and tikkun olam. Our new temple campus will reflect this profound change in what it means to be Jewish. We are transforming this campus into a center for Jewish community and culture. And one more thing about how we have changed. In the old days, in the old country, and after first coming to America, Jews lived together in physical proximity to each other. So they found community every time they stepped outside their front door. That is not true anymore, at least not here. There is no Jewish neighborhood in Santa Barbara. And so we are reimagining this place, this campus, as our shared Jewish neighborhood, a place to meet each other, and not just on special occasions. A place for discussions and concerts, films and plays, a center for dance classes and for yoga. It will be a house of prayer and a center to explore different forms of Jewish spirituality, but also for making art and music and for cooking. All our generations, children and adults, teenagers and senior citizens will meet each other here all week long, not only on special occasions. It will be our community center. Best of all, at least for me, we will come here on Shabbat. And we might stay all day long, perhaps to sing, or to pray, or to study, but more often just to sit outside in the gardens, to visit with friends, to enjoy a picnic lunch, to listen to live music, all day long, until 3 stars appear in the sky, and we gather together to light a braided candle and to smell the spices of Havdalah. That is the dream. That's what we're building together. And now it gives me great pleasure to bring up one of our congregation's most beloved leaders, a former president and the co-chair of our building committee, Judy Koper.
Thank you, Rabbi Cohen. Thank you for your visionary leadership in this most momentous time today and always. I've been very fortunate to be a CBB member for over 30 years and am honored to be here along with our Building Dreams team, some of whom are over here, some of whom are supposed to be there, to offer insight about how we got to today and what we anticipate the next couple of years to look like. Our presentation today is the culmination of thousands of hours of work by skilled volunteers, professionals, consultants, and our brilliant CBB clergy and staff. This project germinated almost 6 years ago when a long-range planning task force identified a comprehensive list of needs and program objectives in all areas of congregational life. The aspirations that guide pedestrian, beautifying our home and assuring a welcoming environment, adding community and sacred meeting space, consolidating and improving space for staff and clergy, renewing our education building and creating indoor and outdoor experiential learning environments, enhancing outdoor areas for membership needs, programs, and education, improving and upgrading pedestrian and vehicular circulation and parking, and expanding and integrating security into our new design. So how do these objectives come to life? There are so many exciting changes and enhancements, some immediately visible as you saw in the film and as you see on these beautiful boards, and others more subtle. And everyone seems to have their beautiful favorite design element or new striking feature, from the very practical, like an elevator that connects the different levels of our hilly setting, or the many safe, accessible pedestrian paths planned throughout the entire campus, or the private security office tucked into the lobby. Yet some aspects of the project evoke more of the warm fuzzies and are stunningly creative and beautiful. As you consider all of the enhancements, you can visualize the exquisite weddings or B'nai Mitzvah in the central promenade that flows into the shaded back plaza and then joins to the park by cascading stairs, or the kids playing in the new magical preschool play yard. Imagine the array of activities, immersive learning, sacred study, and communal gatherings that were envisioned by the clergy and the many educators, chefs, artists, musicians, and techies, just to name a few that we consulted. I know that you will each come away with your own special elements of the project to add to this list. On a more fundamental note, we understand that you are entrusting our group with a great deal of responsibility. So we also want to share with you a bit about our process to now and moving forward. On this next slide, you will see the list of CBB leaders that are actively involved. These dedicated people, alongside CBB clergy and staff, are overseeing the planning, process, implementation, and budget of the entire project from inception through construction, developing plans and securing required funds, and guiding decisions where hard choices between program, quality, cost, and time must be made. And on this next slide, you will see our many partners and consultants. Very early on in the process, we selected local commercial contractor Frank Skipper, who worked on the sanctuary remodel, and Blackbird Architects, true standouts in their fields. Everyone on this slide shares our goal of ensuring that this undertaking is expertly and sustainably designed with great care, detail, beauty, innovation, and integrity, and all within very specific cost parameters. In addition, our CBB board has played a critical role, deep diving into committee presentations and ensuing discussions with significant and meaningful contribution and oversight. No issue has proven to be too big or too small for our committees and for the board to confidently tackle. And while some decisions can be quite challenging, it is a collaborative and comprehensive process of which we are all proud to be a part. We understand that today is a lot of information to absorb and encourage you at any time to reach out to any of us with questions, comments. Truly, we mean that. And we also hope that today touches and inspires you, and we look forward to building this dream together. I'm so fortunate to be working alongside Marty Levy, who brings decades of experience as the retired head of capital projects at UCSB, and now turn it over to her to tell us about some of the nuts and bolts, literally and figuratively, and about our next steps. Thank you.
Okay. I guess I'm the short and pragmatic one. Good morning. You can tell why it has been such a pleasure for me to work with Judy Coper and, in fact, everybody who's been involved in this. So my role today is to share with you what's happening next. So in April, the first thing we're hoping to achieve is approval from the County of Santa Barbara for what's called our conditional use permit. A conditional use permit is needed in order for us to use our land as we envision, we require a conditional use permit from the county. Obtaining this permit will enable us to then go back to the county to get our building permits to be able to start construction. In May, our architects, Blackbird, will be starting construction documents. Very recently, we retained Cameron Carey of the Tynan Group. Cameron has enormous experience working with nonprofits such as Crane School, the Zoo, the Music Academy as a project manager. He will be coordinating through the next phases of the project with our architect and contractor to ensure that both our goals and our budget objectives are met. We'll be working closely with Cameron, and we're very glad to have him as part of our team. The construction documents, as you know, projects are dynamic. And throughout the process, we're constantly refining it, tweaking it to ensure that we can meet our goals. In fact, very recently, we made some changes to the parking lot and to our arrival courtyard. Judy, the rabbi, and I will be available to show you and share with you the most recent changes and answer your questions after the event. The bid. During the summer and fall, we expect to be going back to the county for our building permit and to go out to bid. You've already heard Skipper Construction is our contractor, but in order to ensure a competitive bid, every one of the varying sub-consultants will be bid out. And we will also be ensuring, because as you know, this is a very unusual world and climate we're living in right now, that to make sure that we are able and are successful with our bid, we'll be having what's called bid alternates. We'll be having some that will add value to our project. An example is the beautiful doors to the social hall that can be replaced. And we'll be having alternates that will enable us, if the bid climate isn't favorable, to still go forward, which are called delete alternates. So one of the things I did want to touch on is relocation. It's very challenging, and I know many of you are thinking about it, just as you're sitting here. As the rabbi has indicated, all functions of the temple will be relocated except the preschool. In order to ensure that the preschool can operate and care for our children as it does now, which is in an outstanding way, we're working with the contractor, and Cameron Carey will be very involved in this to ensure safety in terms of safe path of travel, to mitigate noise and to mitigate dust. And the rabbi and Jen Lewis are working very closely with the parents to address the concerns as we near construction. Ray Aronson is also very involved. He actually was the leader and project manager of the preschool and a member of our temple, in working with Jen Lewis on all the physical needs in terms of for the preschool. So construction, hopefully we'll have a big groundbreaking ceremony. And while that date may change as we work with the county to get our permits, based on everything we know today, January 2023 is looking like a realistic start date for our project. During construction, so we're estimating, our contractor is estimating 18 months to complete construction. We do plan to hold him to the 18 months, and hopefully even sooner. And as we get closer, we'll have more information to know whether there may be times that we'll actually be able to complete certain areas sooner and be able to move back. Also, I know all of us are going to be very curious on when we're under construction on what's going on. There will be camera or cameras on site that will be live streaming the work so you can follow the progress. And we'll also schedule at least a few times during the construction process where we can give tours and safely give tours for everybody. I think I can say for everyone that the last 6 years has been a journey that has provided all of us many rewards. For me, it's been a joy and an honor to be working with such a dedicated and amazing group of people to help CBB build its dream of a revitalized home that can continue to provide for the needs of many future generations. I now get to introduce to you one of those amazing people, Steve Americana, a past president of CBB and currently co-chair with Nancy Sheldon of our capital campaign. His wisdom and love of CBB inspire all of us.
Well, good morning, everybody. As Marty indicated, I'm Steve Americana, and I'm privileged to serve as co-chair of the Capital Campaign along with Nancy Sheldon, who you saw in the video. Nancy so much wanted to be here this morning, but is out of town for 2 weeks on spring break. So now that you've seen the project, we hope to share that you share our sense that the future of this campus and the synagogue is filled with possibilities and with potential. Nancy and I volunteered to help raise the funds for this exciting project because we believe in our hearts that this campaign is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our congregation. It's our generation's gift to each other, our children, and the coming generations. We can transform the future. To introduce the Capital Campaign, I'm honored to share with you video messages from two distinguished campaign leaders. First, our honorary co-chair, Sarah Miller McCune.
Greetings to all of our CBB family. I'm sorry that I cannot be with you in person this morning, but I'm definitely with you in spirit. I'm glad to share with you my personal excitement and enthusiasm about our temple's Building Dreams project. The temple has been a source of comfort, inspiration, and pride for me, and I'm sure for all of you, over the decades. And I am thrilled that we are making the CBB campus new again and getting it ready for the next 100 years. Let's all do this together.
Our thanks to Sarah for her inspiring leadership of our campaign. Our next message this morning comes from Daniel Hochman, our other honorary co-chair and a member of one of this congregation's most storied families.
Matovu, 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 Yaakov. Wow, look at those striped bell-bottom pants. I hear they're coming back into style any day. You know, playing this ukulele really takes me back to simpler times. As children, our lives were not really bogged down by the everyday and sometimes not so everyday worries of the adult mind. I don't remember much about the building of this temple, but one moment stands out in my mind. My grandfather, Lester Gersh, once took me way out on San Antonio Creek Road. We walked into what is now the sanctuary. Now I invite you to look with your mind's eye and come with that young boy. The floor is bare concrete with sawdust scattered. Wood, metal studs are running up and down. I pick up a circular metal slug from the ground as a keepsake. I stand over there near the choir room, now the cantor's office, and face what is to be the bema and the ark. And I take in the incredible smells of freshly cut wood and construction. And standing there, making a memory that has lasted my lifetime, I had no idea really why my grandfather and I were there at all. But now I guess he was somehow involved. He was worried. An entire generation of adults had taken on an enormous risk, like jumping off of a cliff. Could they have known if they would raise the money or build a successful project? Would they be triumphant or would they fail? And I stood in that empty shell of a soon-to-be sanctuary, oblivious. But now I know. For the life of our congregation, almost 100 years, we have wandered from living room to living room to living room, to grocery store, to hotel conference room, to movie theater, to Santa Barbara Street, to San Antonio Creek Road. From rabbi to rabbi, to rabbi, and cantor to cantor, from office manager to executive director, from only one rabbi to an assistant to an associate rabbi, dreaming our future each step of the way. And now we wander again, for a short while, taking a short circle around the block, saying goodbye to the old and welcoming the new. And when we return to our newly created future, we will share the pride that only comes from participation. To raise our families, it takes a congregation, from generation to generation to generation. Mandy and I offer this challenge. Please join us as we remake our dreams anew. Get involved, be a supporter, contribute, be an active part of the CBB family as we each take our place in history. It is time for us all to build our dreams together. Bye.
We just love Daniel's energy. So we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to Mandy and Daniel and the Gersh-Hochman families for their steadfast support of our synagogue or congregation over many generations. So with those introductory messages, let me give you an overview of the campaign. Our current fundraising goal is $15 million, which we anticipate will achieve our objectives of the Building Dreams project. I can tell you this morning, and we are thrilled to report, that over the past 18 months, we've raised over $12.8 million toward that goal. And significantly, the donations have ranged from $18 to over $1 million. So while we know we have a long way to go, we have a high level of confidence that we can and will get there. We've been impressed over and over again by the enthusiasm the project has been greeted with by our earliest and best donors. And happily, many of the donations have been multi-generational family gifts. And we could not be here today without the generosity of our earliest and largest donors, all of our clergy and senior staff, and 100% of our 27-member Board of Trustees. Today, in front of this entire congregation, we want to especially express our heartfelt appreciation to our leadership donors, those families and individuals who have contributed $500,000 and more. And you see their names before you. We're particularly pleased and honored that we have a number of our leadership donors with us this morning, and I'd like to invite Rabbi Cohen back to the microphone to offer them some special words of welcome.
Thanks, Steve. I asked to have this moment to say thank you in front of everyone to the small group of leadership donors, because this is deeply personal. 4 of them are here with us this morning. Etty Yenny, Meryl and Chuck Ziegler, and Seymour Lehrer. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you to just stand for a moment. Etty and Seymour and Meryl and Chuck. Seymour! Okay. Daniel and Mandy Hockman and Sarah Miller McCune, who we've just heard from, and Lundy and Fred Reynolds, and our anonymous lead donor, I hope are watching by live stream. All of us understand that every single gift to this project is sacred. Many, many people, including Marion and me, are giving the very biggest gift of our lives. But you, our lead donors, are the ones without whom this project would simply not be possible. On behalf of everyone here today, and on behalf of the future generations of this congregation, many of whom are not yet born, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And thank you for being here this morning. Okay, Steve, back to you.
Thank you, Rabbi Cohen. So today is the kickoff for our broad-based effort to engage the entire congregation in the Building Dreams project that you're seeing here before you. Over the next few months, there are going to be a number of opportunities to get involved, a few of which are listed on the postcard that you have on your table. And if you haven't yet seen them, they are in the center of the table, and I would ask you just to pass them around and take a quick look at them. Take a look at those postcards. We would love to know how you would like to participate. You can fill these out this morning and hand them to the folks around the room who are going to collect them. Between now and the end of the year, we're going to be having a number of what we call parlor meetings. These are intimate gatherings in people's living rooms and backyards, and our hosts are asked to invite their friends and acquaintances to hear about the Building Dreams project. We present the graphics that you see here, and we talk about the campaign and what this project will do. If you'd like to host a parlor meeting or be invited to one, please indicate your interest in doing that on this postcard. We encourage you to join us in making Building Dreams a reality in as many ways as work for you and for your family. On the postcard, you can indicate if you'd like to talk to us about your family's potential financial participation, and we can either schedule that time to talk or we can talk this morning. After our session here, we'll be out on the back patio answering your questions about the project and about the capital campaign, and we can talk to you about your family's participation. Thank you. And now, to hear about some engagement opportunities, I invite to the microphone Rabbi Daniel Brenner. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everyone. According to our Talmud, it's a good way for a rabbi to start a speech. According to our Talmud, Moses, our leader, our great shepherd as we wandered through the desert, was very, very rich, very wealthy. So rich that when God laid out the elaborate plans for building the dwelling place for God on earth, the tabernacle, all of the gold, all of the silver, the wood, the animal skins, the jewels that it would take, Moses could have paid for it all. And it would have been a lot easier that way too. But in great wisdom, God tells Moses that all of these things must be collected from the Israelites. All of the necessary supplies must come from them. By doing this, every Israelite is able to look upon the dwelling of God and see themselves as builders of God's house. We feel the same way about this project. We are building dreams together, and the emphasis is together. Building dreams is a major undertaking being done by us, not for us. It is the hope and mission of our leadership that every congregational family will feel like they are a meaningful part of this generational project. Over the coming months, there are going to be numerous opportunities for you all to engage in building dreams. Can you see yourself on a project engagement team, helping others stay aware of the progress of the project? Perhaps you'd like to take care of a plant that will one day be part of one of our beautiful outdoor gardens. Maybe you just want a chance to walk the campus one final time before it is transformed. Whether one of these ideas call to you or you have your own, we want to hear your dreams for what you see happening in our new spaces. Come see Mariella Sokolovsky and me out at the tables on the back patio after we wrap up. We would love to hear from you. And if you're not going to come out to the back patio, take those postcards on your table, hand it to any one of our staff, or drop it into the blue box out in the lobby as you go. That way we can all stay connected through this amazing project. And for just a final word, I'll turn it back to our president, Diane Zipperstein.
Thank you, Rabbi, and everyone on the team for this amazing presentation. We hope you join us as we all, as a community and a congregation, build this project together. To take a closer look at what you've seen today, you can log on to our website for details and to view the film and the architect's renderings again, and feel free to share with your friends. If you have questions this morning, Rabbi Cohen, Marty, and Judy will be up here by the architect's renderings. At separate tables on the back patio, Steve Amerikaner and I will address the capital campaign. Mariella and Rabbi Brenner will discuss volunteer opportunities, and there will be tour guides that can take you around the campus, and you can see up close the areas to be transformed. Woohoo! Building dreams together. Thank you all for coming.
It's been half a century since we've made this space our home. Now in the season of revival, let us honor how we've grown, and let us work together for the future that we need. 'Cause every fruitful harvest is started with a seed. Brick by brick and stone by stone, together we'll renew our home. This is more than concrete boards and wooden beams. We're building dreams, we're changing lives, creating every opportunity for our community to thrive. We're lifting hearts, inspiring minds, paving the way for living Jewishly. We are building dreams. Years from now, a family watches baby grow with pride. From BHY to Netivo, from bat mitzvah to bride, against a scenic backdrop of a shared Shabbat with friends. As Hillel says, if not us, who, and if not now, then when? So brick by brick and stone by stone, together we'll renew our home, where Ledor Vedor will sing Lehadodi. We're building dreams, we're changing lives, creating every opportunity for our community to thrive. We're lifting hearts, inspiring minds, paving the way for living Jewishly. We're building dreams, we're changing lives, creating every opportunity for our community to